One of our Nigerian sister is in serious crisis. As a matter of fact, sitting down making this video today is because I want everyone to learn from this story. Take out some lessons from this and ensure you don't make such mistakes as she did. I know every one of us is seeking to move abroad, most especially coming in with our children. But sometimes, is it wise coming in with your children to work, especially? So please do not move abroad with your children until you watch this video, most especially to the UK, because childcare over here it's a very serious business. I mean, the government doesn't joke or play with it. So if you won't be available to take care of that child or those children whilst working, please, it's better you come alone. Now, this our sister, name undisclosed, a Nigerian lady, got a sponsored visa from Nigeria into the UK as a single parent. She came in, surprisingly, she has four children, a single parent coming in with four children. Who can imagine that? How can one, sit and think that would have been a wise decision? Because for me, that is absolutely a very wrong move. Yes, some of you may ask, Clara, was she to leave her children back at home? Or just because she got a job here in the UK, or she will not leave her children? Guys, sometimes it's better you come, and it's better you take some heartbreak, in the sense being apart from your children first off, than coming here, having them seized by the UK government, crying bitterly, running etaskata, your visa being revoked, and at the point of deportation. This is the reality and the true story of our Nigerian sister right now. With me is our wonderful hosts called Oge. I know every one of you knows her. She's amazing. She does very good. I mean, she's one person I always love to talk with in related to all of these issues on ground about immigrant coming in with their family to the UK to work, most especially doing the care job. Okay, yeah, she's working. She got a sponsorship from Nigeria and she's also a mom. So she's going to be with me today while we discuss this and see what possible solution is relating to this whole issue on ground. So, okay, do you have anything to contribute? I shared this story with you, telling you about this woman, and now our kids have been seized, undergoing investigation. We're going to talk on how our kids were seized as this live stream continues. But I just want Oge to chip in some things and, just say, what do you think? Do you think it's wise moving in with your kid as a single parent, four children? I mean, that is quite a lot.
Clara, first of all, let me thank you for having me here. But the truth is that when you told me about this story, somehow I wanted to say no. But the only reason I accepted to be here is because I know that a lot of people would learn from this. Because if we keep shying away from it, a lot of people would be in a terrible situation because it's an emotional topic. I am a mom. I understand what it means not to be with your children, not to talk of when the children have been taken away from you. It's an emotional thing. I came to the UK without my children. I
Wow.
left them back home. Yes, that was the first move I made. I refused coming with my children
Mm,
because I wanted to be sure of where I am going to, be
very good.
certain that I have gotten somewhere convenient for them before
Mm,
they join me. Having children, taking care of children in this very country called United Kingdom is not a child's play.
no.
I am in this country with my husband, but it is not an easy thing, even though we are two doing this.
Not to talk of a single mom.
Not to talk of when you are doing it alone. How do you expect to take care of these children when you are meant to go to work?
Imagine.
You you are the person that
Yeah.
came here with the sponsorship. How would you cope?
Yeah. And sponsorship means you have a contract, you are tied with the employer, you must do the same
Exactly.
contract.
And sometimes some employers can be funny. They might call you out of the blues and say, you need to come and work by so and so time.
Mm.
And most times, depending on who is your employer, when you say no, it becomes an issue. And because you're on sponsorship, you will try your best to work in a way that you will be able to keep the sponsorship that is keeping you in the country.
Mm.
So hustling and taking care of your
And being a
job
mom at
at
the
the
same
same
time, it
time and
doesn't
the
work.
kids, it's tough. Clara, it is tough. But the truth is this: most times, when we say these things to people back home, they don't agree.
They
They
think you're
feel
lying.
you don't want them to come.
Oh,
But I say this: if you must come, can you please leave these children at home?
no, it's not easy. Like you said, you are a mom.
Yes,
We
it's
know how it is.
emotional, but it is safe. I think that's the best option. Let them stay home till you sort yourself out.
Mm.
Let them stay home. It is better than coming here and finding yourself in a very tough situation.
Mm.
It is better. You would prefer thinking that your kids are home, and maybe even if it's once a year, you go back home and see them. You can do it. If
Mm.
you're on contract and you are working, let's say 36 hours a week, 37.5, 40 hours, you will have enough money that will be able to take you back home every year.
Mm. Can you
Book
imagine?
your ticket. Yes,
You
book
know,
your ticket on
children, like
time.
children she did not lose at home. They were not kidnapped at
Indeed,
home. They didn't get lost at home. Coming to the UK now, having them
you are
see
losing the
like
children.
it doesn't
See,
make
one
sense.
thing
It's,
is,
it's annoying
believe
for like
me,
this is an emotional one for every mom. It's
hmm,
emotional. Just imagine being apart from your kids, seized. Like the funniest part is that she's not even given any rights to even see them. Because they said she's
that's it.
engaging their life. Now, guys, how did this happen? How did she fall into this? So, as a single mom coming in here with the sponsored visa, she must work like Oge said. She's tied to employer. There's no excuse. Oh, my kids are at home. I'm the only
Mhm.
one. I can't work at this sort of time. I can't work at this sort of time. So, fortunately for her, she also got an employer that kind of understood her, saying, okay, they're going to place her on night shift because of her kids. So, the first child is 14 years, the second one is 10. I think the last baby is 7, while the third one is about 9. They're still very underage. And here in the UK, the law is that you can't leave children unattended
All
to
alone at
except
night. You
there is
can't.
an adult with them. And,
Mhm.
permit you to at least have someone who is 16 years. If you have a child that is 16, that child can look after the younger one. It seems considerable. But all our kids are below that age of 16. So she's been living them. She's been in the UK for about a year plus now on this sponsored visa. She came in with 3 years contract. So she's been leaving them at home. Everything was working well. At night, once they come back from school, she prepared their dinner. Then at night by 8, she goes to her work. And the funny part is that our work is not so far from our home.
At
It's about
home.
15 minutes walk, so it's not so far. So she thought she
Okay.
was doing the right thing. She thought
Same.
that she was
Mhm.
able to, she's playing safe and, doing the game all well. There's something I always say, see this UK, you need to be careful, not only
Very, very,
of the
very.
problem, but your surrounding, living
I-
in the estate, not knowing that people are watching her.
I'm
And these
telling
people,
you.
they can do amebo. If you don't know what amebo is,
Clara,
these people in this
see,
future,
you need
very
to shout it again. You need to shout that amebo part. You need to shout
they
it.
gossip,
Because
be it
the
good
moment
and
you're
bad.
opening your door, they are
Yeah,
watching you.
they're watching you. You're
The
coming in,
moment you
in
make
the
a
car,
step, they
they're
are
watching you.
and you think the funny thing is you will think that your environment is quiet. There's nobody
Oh, oh,
outside.
why
There's
what?
nobody on the window watching you until you
Why
make a
what?
move. Make
Why
a move
what?
and you will hear.
So she's leaving them now, going to work. Then she finishes by 8, 8 to 8, the care shift. She comes back immediately home, prepare them for their school, prepare their breakfast, put them on the school bus. The routine just kept on going like that for a year. Not until one day, she just got a call while she was at work at night saying that she needs to come back home. How this thing happened? It's just like, when God says it's time for you to be exposed, it's time for you to be exposed. So the 14-year-old daughter, back in Nigeria, once you're 14, you can cook, you can do
Yes,
anything, you can
of
do what
course.
you want to do, or maybe just put food in the microwave or something. You can do it. So apparently she instructed this the eldest one, who is 14, to boil some noodles for the younger one. So boiling noodles went into something. Oh, alarm went off. Not
Mhm.
that the house caught fire, no. But when there's too much smoke, the alarm went off.
Yes.
As a child, you don't know what to do. If it was an adult, we are going to open everywhere, or sometimes just press the
Yeah.
alarm to make sure the noise stop. But
Stops.
this child, she's a
They
child or a
can't
teenager, didn't
coordinate.
know what to do. She didn't know what to do before. The alarm kept on going. Neighbors were wondering what is happening, what is happening, what is happening. Until one neighbor was forced to go and knock on the door and found out that the kids were alone. The neighbor was like, "Oh, are you okay? Where's your mom? Is there any parent here?" Children nonsense. They would not say, "Oh, mommy went to the shop to go and buy something." They said, "Mommy was at work. Mommy went to work." They can't lie. You get what I mean? Children are very innocent. They say mommy was at
Exactly.
work. From there, you trust them now. This is what they like. They immediately
Straight
rang
up.
the police, from police to social service. From social
Social
service now, the
service.
kids are being held at this moment, like separated from her at this moment. And the funniest part is that she's granted no permission to talk to them because they feel like she's putting them into danger, putting them into one. But what mom, in a right sense, would want to endanger the lives of her children? But it's just the situation she finds herself in. She has to also, at the end of the day, they need to eat. You get what I mean?
Of
4 kids now
course. Of
are
course.
all taken and placed in different homes now in the social service. It's a sad one. It's a sad one,
Very
but we
sad.
learn from this. That is why I would
Very
say
sad.
sometimes it's not the best decision to come with your children. Look
It's
at
not the
okay,
best.
look
Most
at what you
times
said.
people think they can maneuver a lot
You
of
can't
things.
maneuver your way in this UK. Oh. Nah,
It's
nah, nah.
very
They don't
hard.
do it like that. You need
It's
to follow the
very
rule.
it's very hard. It's
You need to
very
follow
hard.
the rule.
And most times when you hope on community, maybe you're living in an area where the people of your color are
Mm.
also living, and you believe that you can get all the help you need from them. Most times it doesn't really work that way,
So
because we
everyone.
all are human. Some people might get burned out along the way. You leave your child today, you leave tomorrow.
You leave next
It's
tomorrow. You become
it's
tired.
very stressful.
Someone like me that lives in a predominantly white
Yeah,
community, my life
done.
is hard. You can't even live for no one. There's no one you can live for. But what we're trying to say here is that please count all costs, both the good and bad, before you make a move. This is not to discourage anyone from moving to the UK or to come in with their children, but sometimes I do say this often. It's better you come in, touch the ground, feel the soil, see how it is. If it's for you, then you can make that decision to bring your kids. Okay, yeah, she came alone, you know, before she decided to bring in her whole family. I know some other people who have also made the decision. There's a particular YouTuber, I've forgotten their name. I think the Fab something something. They left their two girls at home, came here into the UK after a year when they've settled,
Mhm.
got in a good apartment. That's when they brought their children into the country. Now they can know how they do. Even if you're coming in as you're coming in with a care job and you have a dependent, a husband, you're not a single mom, you have a dependent. Maybe the dependent come with you. At that
Mhm.
first stage, that first few months, 1 to 6 months, it's hard. That dependent may not be able to get a job so easily. You get
Hmm.
what I mean? The frustration,
Clara,
everything. So sometimes sort
people
yourselves
don't
out first.
people don't people don't understand this. I know what
Mm,
I went through the first month I landed in the UK. I actually got an accommodation. My employer gave me an accommodation. But by the time I needed to move to be able to get my own accommodation where I will be paying, it was tough. See, if I had been here with my family, that first stage, I'm very sure, I'm very sure I would have regretted why I moved.
You know, I know a lot of people who came 2023, 2022 with their kids on study visa too. It's not easy for them. Forget to people. We
But
post on Instagram. Everybody
I
smiling on Facebook. They
see,
will post. They will
I
go to one
said
place, start
I
5
would
minutes.
have
They're enjoying.
regretted.
Thank you.
Hmm. I would
Hey,
have regretted why I came to the UK if I had made that move with the kids. Because the truth is that you don't know anybody. And you need to learn some things about the country. You need to sort yourself out. You need to know the best way to get your accommodation fast. In fact, the accommodation I moved to, the moment the accommodation my company gave to me expired, because they paid for my accommodation free of charge. And I needed to move when I've already exhausted that. You need to see how I was awake all night searching for accommodation. And if I was looking for accommodation for a family, it would have taken a
so long.
while. But because it's just me, I just went to spare room as God may have it. Within 24 hours, I got an accommodation where I moved. And from there, I started preparing to get a bigger accommodation. Getting a bigger accommodation where you can be able to bring in your family does not happen within 24 hours. We know it does not happen.
Imagine you were
There are
waking
some
that,
paperwork
that
that
time.
needs to happen. A lot of paperwork needs to happen before you can get the accommodation.
Mm,
They need to get a reference and the rest.
mm,
So I stayed in my comfortable zone and started doing that when I was ready for my family to come in.
mm.
So these are some of the things we need to check. Most times when you say, don't come with your children, some people would think that you are trying to separate them
Just like
completely
to
from
talk.
their children. It
Mm-hmm,
is for your own good and for the good of those children. Because
mm-hmm,
some people end up sleeping in the bus station with the
mm.
children.
Children.
It
Oh,
doesn't
you've
make
seen
sense.
that? Because I've seen.
Yes,
I've seen a lot.
because of no accommodation. And okay, look, if a single person, or let's say a mom without her child, comes to you and say, I don't have somewhere to keep my head. I need somewhere to sleep.
And easily
Clara,
accommodate the
you
person.
can easily accommodate that person.
Mm.
But accommodating a whole family, it is a
Charge
struggle.
in this
It
UK,
is
yeah.
a struggle.
Where everybody's hustling, bustling, you
That
know.
is the
There's
thing.
no there's no charity here. Like everyone is literally
That's
trying
what
to make
most people don't understand. You don't have an accommodation. You will call someone back from maybe Africa, Asia, and tell them, I'm coming over. I got a job and I'm coming with my family. Can you please accommodate me for
yeah.
so and so
Me,
days?
I
The
can't
person
anymore.
maybe, somehow the
Me, I
person, rather
can't.
than
I
saying
don't
no,
accommodate people. Never.
uh rather than saying no, they will say yes. The moment you land at the airport, their phone will automatically go off
Mm.
because
Yes.
they know it is a struggle.
Struggle. Instead of saying the truth at the beginning, that we off the
That
phone.
is it.
Mm.
So why not? Why not save yourself this stress?
Mhm.
Right? Because most times I say coming abroad can be a good thing for you.
If you know how
At
to
the
do it well.
Exactly. But it can also turn out to be bad if you don't plan for yourself, if you don't have a proper plan.
Mm.
Because if you don't plan it, it will backfire.
Mm.
And you will start asking questions like, who sent me? How
And
did
I
I
know.
end up here?
You see this life, I feel like this life that we live now, like God has given everybody brain. Good brain. It's no longer we should cry Adino. You see that Adino, I ate it because I believe that if you plan well in this life, there's nothing like Adino. So why we the essence of this live stream is because I want you all to know the true stories of immigrants here in the UK. It's not just coming here, say, apply to this job, send your CV, this and that. What if you get the job and you come in and what was meant to be a blessing turn into
Turns out to be
review?
bitterness.
So this is the reality. Please, kids are beautiful, they are blessings. It's amazing being a mom. Every one of us loved it. Being a mom is one of the biggest blessings ever. But please, if you're a single mom, it's not wise coming in with your kids, except you have relative here who you feel like they can take care of those kids. And
Clara,
also, no,
talking about relative, let me say this. Most times, I've been in a situation where a friend says she's coming to the UK. Where she got a job is in England, but
hmm,
the person she wants to accommodate her is in Scotland.
hmm,
She doesn't know
yeah, they
that the
think you
UK is that
everywhere.
big.
Ah,
Yes. She feels that she can move from Scotland and comfortably go to work at her workplace in
not
England,
possible.
until she reached out to me and I said, my dear, you see this thing you're planning, it is impossible. It won't work.
Mm,
Because if you feel you can, let's say, go by train and be coming to work from Scotland to England, I'm telling you the fact, you won't even have money to keep.
no,
You can't pay your rent,
it's not even
not to
possible.
talk of it. It's
Ah,
not possible.
it's not possible at all.
So when you are planning that your relation is in this country and you are coming, you are packing all your children and you're coming because your family member is here.
Mm,
Remember that that family member of yours
you
have a
work with.
job.
Mm,
That family member of yours might not be living where exactly the same area where
mm,
you are living, unless both of you have planned it out, especially with that person already in the country that
mm,
knows how the system works and know that this place or this thing will be suitable if we do it this way. That's the only person that can tell you if it is going to work. But if you're back home and you're believing that I have all my generation here in the UK, and when I come, taking care of my children will not be a problem, my dear, it doesn't work that way.
mm. This
It
is an
does
eye.
not work that way.
This is
Seriously,
truly an eye opener for everyone.
even your own relative at a point might just feel so tired. See,
Mm.
taking care of children is
It's
one of
not
the
easy.
it's a very tough
It's a
job.
big deal. It's a
Hmm.
big. Even here in the UK, do you know how much?
Clara,
If you're a working
it is
class
a
mom,
tough
do you know
job.
how much it is to pay for this childcare if you don't have anyone around? It's a big thing.
Clara,
Yeah.
see, there is no job on this planet that I have seen that is as tough as taking care of children. It is very tough. So it needs someone that loves those children and are willing to take care of them like they are his or her own. So you don't just leave children for anybody. You need to be intentional
Mm,
because these children are
you're
funny
right.
sometimes. They are funny. Those
Mm.
things you ask them not to do,
Like,
that's
do you
what
know
they will
here in the
comfortably
UK,
do.
yeah, in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, or whatever, they say you see children. I think we have a network issue there. In Nigeria, they say it's not only one person that trains
A
children; it's
child.
the whole
Exactly.
community. The
Exactly.
neighbor, everybody take care of these children. You get what I mean? But you see,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this Obodo
Mm-mm.
UK most
It's
especially.
your
Now
business.
only you, oh, now only you. And the funny part is that
It is your
they want to
business.
function at these children as if you have eyes everywhere. You have eyes at your back. You have eyes at
See,
your ear. Like a child must not fall. A child must not cry. A child must not do. It didn't tire me. It's
see,
tiring.
if they see your child with his or her head entering fire, it is your business. All they can do is make a call the police. Or
It's really fun.
they'll,
But anyways, it's a very sad one for this man.
A
You know,
very sad one.
to
I don't even want to think about it
it's a
because
very sad.
let me
You know,
tell
the
you
funny part
what.
is that our visa has been revoked too.
Wait now, wait,
Automatically, our visa has been
hold
revoked.
on.
She's going getting deported. Deportation without her kids. Like now, the government get the children. I think the one that wants the children for her. If they want
That
to
is the
deport her
problem.
children, let her go with the children.
What we don't understand is that the moment this childcare issue steps in, you start going crazy. Your work, you won't be able to work very well. You will start having issue with your employer, and that's the problem. You will lose the job that brought you here,
And the
and
employer
that's
will say,
it.
"Oh, gosh, she's facing through a lot. She's going through a lot. This Obodo Yubo, this UK,
That
no
is the
loyalty.
problem.
Oh, everybody's
Hmm.
watching out for themselves and what is going to benefit them. It's a sad one. First of all, the kids first. Now, Abisa even revoked the Abisa was revoked by the employer, and also because of the whole issue with the social service. She's without any visa, no sponsorship. How can she even cope to start looking for another job? Now she risked deportation and everything. It's so sad. It's really sad. She's even lucky that they didn't even jail her. Like she didn't really go into jail like that. Of course, she was brought in investigation,
Of
inquiry,
course,
detention
of
was
course.
carried out, but not like a full-time blown jail. She was lucky because they felt that she was. I've seen on TV where they arrest her parents because of negligence. So it's a very big issue here. Please, guys, if you're watching me,
It's a safeguarding issue.
yeah. If you're a parent here, you have kids, you have husband or you have wife here, or you're a single parent, please never leave your children unattended without a grown-up adult. It's a serious issue here. So thank you so much, Ogi, for joining today. This is such a wonderful conversation. Do not forget, guys, this is a series on my YouTube channel, which is called True Stories, where we discuss the true stories of immigrants here in the UK. Please go and subscribe to my host channel called Everything with Oge. I will be leaving a link in the comment section and also description box of this video. She has amazing content over there. I mean, she's one of the
Thank you.
best. She's doing really, really well. I must comment that. Okay, guys, please share it to as many people as you can. Let them watch and let them learn. Do not forget to like. Also, leave your view. Share your view with us. We are looking forward to hearing from you guys. What do you think about the situation? Do you think the government was being fair on her? Do you think the employer took like a drastic move by revoking a visa and a lot? What do you think the future holds for this woman, most especially, and her children? Would her kids be eventually returned? Who knows? But anyways, we leave all in the hands of God. And for now, we say goodbye and thank you for tuning in. Bye. Bye bye.
Bye.